say cat object. What I want to see is at what point does it stop working and is it not working. So cat object should now tell me what's inside cat object. If it's null, then we know something's gone terribly wrong. Alright, so let's go back here. Let's have a quick look at our example controller again. So number of cats allowed, 1. Okay. So I'm going to clear this and I'm going to hit file and build and run again. See what happens. So it's important that when you build and run, obviously my phone is connected to my laptop. When I'm testing the phone and I've got it on developer mode, I want to keep my phone connected via USB. That way I can see what errors come up. And this is quite important when you're doing AR debugging at the moment. In future updates, they'll probably have it so that you can debug or you can probably run AR in an artificial way through Unity. Maybe they'll have using your laptop cam or your PC cam webcam. But until we get to that point, this seems like the best way to go around it. So let's see if we can catch any errors when we run it this time. Right, so I'm going to start up the app. And as you can see, since our USB is connected to our phone, we've got a bunch of statements that are coming up on our console. And this is because we clicked that development tick box. So now, when we tap on the phone, debug statements that ordinarily would not have shown because you can't run this on the emulator on Unity. The debug statements that will go wrong will appear on from our phone on our screen. So I'm just going to see if I can capture some of the floor. There we go. And if I go back to the console, we've got a whole bunch of errors that have come up, which is super weird. I'm going to clear these for now. And I'm going to tap on the screen and see what happens. Because I'm more interested in what happens when we click. Okay, there you go. So a lot of these errors, I know that was a bit daunting and a bit scary to see those, but a lot of these errors, I believe, are happening. Those errors that you saw before I did any interaction, before I tapped on the screen. Some of those pop up. They don't always pop up. Some of them pop up. Now this one's constantly happening. I think that's because we're working on a beta build at the moment. So I'm going to just put those aside and ignore them for now, and I'm going to focus on the debug statement. So we've got hit made, current number of cats 0, number of cats 1, and then we have an error. The object you want to instantiate is null. So that means these statements work, 0, 1. This one did not happen. So the chances of the problem, the error occurred here, the instantiation of mcat. So let's see if we can discover why that happened. So let's go into our example controller. Let's clear these now. So we're no longer running the app, which makes sense that there's nothing coming up on our console. Let's go to this part and see if mcat prefab. You see, so mcat prefab is empty. So when I changed the name, before it was Andy prefab, I changed it now to cat prefab. What I failed to do was assign it. So it's just trying to, it's completely empty. And now I need to put cat right in here. So earlier on I said I don't need to test it. Obviously I was clearly wrong. That's what happens when you get cocky. So there you go. That's a lesson for all of us. So I mean, I'm glad that we got to see these areas. I'm going to save the project. I'm going to try building it again. I think you're going to come across a lot of issues with AR, and it's really tricky to find the errors, especially because you can't, debug inside of Unity. You can only run it off of your phone. If anyone knows of a better way to debug than this, let me know. But I think this is the best way that I've managed to find. Okay, so let's try this on the phone and see how this looks. So here we are again. We are running on the phone. and I'm gonna tap on the screen, and hopefully we should get to see the cat. Bingo, it worked. I am so happy about that. And we can see he's moving, well, he's looking left and right. Now it's not picking up, the AI isn't working great, but that's probably because my floor hasn't got many key points on it, since this is quite a flat, quite empty floor. But this is definitely working, which is great. So there you go. This is how you add very simple animations in Android, an 8R core to an prefab, and get that to work as well. So that's the end of this tutorial. We've added animation to our prefab. In the next tutorial, maybe we can look at movement now, and getting the cat to move around, or maybe move towards you, or maybe move towards a spot on the ground that you've clicked on. If you want, you can, leave a comment, let me know what you want, whether you want me to specifically make the cat move towards the camera or move towards a spot. If you think one will be better than the other, maybe I'll take that on board before, if I see it before I start making this next tutorial. And of course, if you like this tutorial, please leave a like.